What's up guys? I'm Janet Breslin and welcome back to my channel and another episode of I Tried, where I get outside of my comfort zone and try new things for the first time. And today we are doing a deep dive into one of the most iconic vehicles of all time, the Toyota Land Cruiser. This isn't just a car review, it's a love story, it's a history lesson, and it might also be a therapy session. So buckle up and let's go. When I say get the f outside, I mean it. And if you're going to make the most of every trail, every highway, and every adventure, you need the right partner in crime. For me, that partner might just be the 2025 Land Cruiser. Over 7 decades, it's earned its stripes as the go-to vehicle for explorers, adventurers, and families who just want to know they can make it to their kids' soccer game no matter what the weather is. That's how it's done. Nature's cryo, get the f outside. The price tag of the 2025 Land Cruiser is not small. This is starting at about $70,000 American dollars. And in my mind, $70,000, that's a luxury vehicle, right? But when I think about other cars like the Land Rover Defender or the Lexus off-roading vehicles, they have this association with luxury, and it's honestly, I gotta say, about that same price. And when I think of Toyota, I actually don't think luxury. I think of Camrys, I think of Prius, I think of Sienna. The very unattractive kind of the cars that you don't think are gonna be badass or really take you far off-road. However, the GX 550 would have the same capabilities with more luxury, and the always dependable 4Runner with a price tag coming in at $15,000 to $20,000 less begs the question, is the Land Cruiser worth the price? What I love about the Land Cruiser is its versatility. One minute it's an off-road beast clawing through trails, the next it's turning heads at a black tie event. The 2025 design is modern yet timeless. It's not just a vehicle, it's a statement. Whether you're loading it up for the weekend adventure or valet parking at a gala, the Land Cruiser fits everywhere, or so I think. Personally, I'm a big fan of this 1990s retro two-tone design and coloring. This makes it feel iconic without sacrificing on the luxury. I really like the fact that this is leather and not Toyota's Softex, something that I cover in my review of the Toyota Tundra, so be sure to check that out on my page too. The inside has a nice luxurious feel to it. Compared to the LX or Defender, it stacks up nicely, and personally, it feels comfortable and less pretentious. A feature that's incredibly important for me is the temperature, right? So one thing that I did notice is that the heat component in here is very, very powerful. It works extremely well, but a huge downside for me is the heat of the seats. I can tell that this just is not as warm as I would like. It's very rare where I'm in a car and I have to turn off the seat warmer because it's too hot. What I would love to see in a seat heater is at least 4 different options, right? You've got your mild, you've got your medium, you've got your hot, and then you've got your let's set your butthole on fire kind of seat options. Give me the flaming hot Cheeto straight to the bottom. I definitely want to take some time to mention the audio. When I was driving on the freeway, obviously there's a lot more wind noise than when you're driving just on very simple roads. So you'll see these mirrors here. They actually take up a lot of space, and that is what creates a lot of that road noise too, is these massive, massive mirrors. But one thing that I did to combat that was just turn up the volume a little bit louder. And I have to say that these 14 speaker sound system that they have in this is pretty incredible. I am a fan of the JBL speakers, and the audio quality, the bass, the treble, all of the components of good music were really able to come through these speakers and make my drive that much more enjoyable. Now let's talk about a few misses with the Land Cruiser. Did you hear that? This door, I have to admit, it sounds weak. It sounds tinny, it's very light, it's very thin too. It's almost like if I were to get T-boned by another vehicle, I feel like they'd have to pick me up with a sponge. And of course, the stock tires on the Land Cruiser are the first things to go. A quick trip to the mountains with just a little snow had the LC stuck. The question I would ask Toyota is why put these wimpy tires on the iconic all-terrain vehicle? The price to fill up this 17.9 gallon tank in California is right around $100. And with an average range of only 300 miles, the gas cost of this is not ideal. Now, another big concern I have is the new engine. Let's check this out. The 2025 Land Cruiser features an all-new hybrid powertrain designed to balance efficiency with capability. It's powered by a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine paired with an electric motor producing a combined 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. And the Land Cruiser, you can tell that it's working, you can tell that it's doing its job, but it doesn't have that same beefy, throaty kind of noise that comes out, especially from my experience, which is when Toyota put out their first introductory video to the Land Cruiser, they made it sound a lot more aggressive than it actually was. It's a departure from the raw grunt of older models, an attempt to ensure Land Cruiser stays relevant in an evolving market. But compared to its V8 predecessors, it feels a little weak. Only time will tell if the new engine can capture the hearts and minds of Land Cruiser lovers. All right, after just a couple hundred miles in my new relationship, I can say there are pros, there are cons, but nothing that I would say is an absolute deal breaker. However, I do wish Toyota did keep some of these things in mind as they were developing such an iconic vehicle. Like all great love stories, it has its quirks. The hybrid engine isn't as muscular as its predecessors, and I do like a good set of muscles. And yes, that wind noise from that flat windshield and oversized mirrors can be noticeable. But then I look at it, the bold lines, the confident stance, it's the belle of the ball without even trying.
Regardless, I couldn't help but falling in love with the Land Cruiser. It even got me wet.
As my get the f outside journey continues, I hope to grow into this vehicle and push it to its limits. And you never know, maybe it'll surprise me, maybe I'll surprise myself. But until then, you know the drill. If you appreciate this content, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe for future Earn Your Freedom content. And until the next video, get the f outside.